Okay, so here we are, we're looking at Teams, and the idea here is that what we want to look at is how to set up a meeting. Okay, so right now, if we look over on the left, we're currently clicked on the Teams tab here, and you've got various other little tabs you can click on. But the Teams tab here that we're clicked on will show you in this list which teams you're currently part of, all right? And you can expand these so you can open them up. So these are the teams that I'm in, which means I can go in. And so right now, for example, I'm clicked on the systems. And so then in the big area here, I get a stream of all the things, the communications that have been in relation to that particular team, okay? Then what can happen is that the person who's in charge of looking after that team can set up channels for that team. So here we've got early help and social care and education and schools. Okay, if we open up the modernisation and support team, they've just got a general one. If you open up children's services, they've got free cycle service updates. So there's different channels, and the idea is with the channels is that people can put specific things about specific subjects in one area rather than everything just going on one page, which would be the Teams page. You can have your own separate channel which is dedicated to a particular subject or something like that. Okay, and that's important because when you're setting up a meeting, rather than inviting a bunch of individuals, you can actually invite a channel. So you could select a channel, and then what that means is that everyone who's already got access to that channel is automatically invited to that meeting. So it means a little bit less work when you're trying to set up the meeting. Okay, so it was just to go over that first quickly because it's just a little thing, but it can help you a little bit when you're trying to set these meetings up. Okay, setting up a meeting is quite straightforward, so we dive straight in. You actually have to go to calendar here on the left, and the calendar works in a very similar way to Outlook. You can see there it's actually already synced up with my Outlook calendar. So there's a fair few meetings in here, like this one that's been cancelled now for obvious reasons. This is from my Outlook calendar, but it's showing in here. So the idea is that I know that any meetings I set up in Teams aren't going to clash with meetings I've already got set up in my Outlook calendar. And vice versa, the way it works is if I do add a meeting here, it will also add that into my Outlook calendar, so it's really quite helpful. What I'm going to do though is, all we want to do is set up a meeting. So I've clicked on calendar on the left, I'm looking at my calendar now, and let's just say the meeting's for next week, so I'll skip forward a week using the arrow up at the top. There we go, so I'm looking at next week now, and I've got a few appointments in there. Just like Outlook then, you pick the time you want to look at, and you can click on it there. So I'll go with Wednesday the 1st at what's that, 12:30. So I'll click on that and it takes me into this little screen, and it's pretty straightforward. All you have to do, add a title. So let's call it important meeting. There we go. And then you can do the things you'd expect to be able to do. So you can play around with the date here. So if I click on that field, it opens up a calendar. You can go backwards and forwards through the months using the arrows and select certain days. Currently, as you can see there, I've got the 1st selected. So I'll leave it at that, but I could have changed it. I can change the time here if I want to. Choose the little arrow again. You can select a start time. And then this area here, this box is for when you want the meeting to end. So I'd imagine it'd be the same day. So we'll leave it at the 1st of April. And what it tends to do, Teams, is when you're setting up a meeting, so there's my start time, 12:30, it always tends to put the finish time automatically in half an hour later. But you can put any end time you want in there. So let's say we've got 12:30 start, we'll go for a nice big meaty 2 p.m. finish. The other thing you can do is click all day. So you've got an all day meeting that day. All right. But we don't want to do that. Again, as well, a bit like Outlook, you also have the option here, says does not repeat currently. Well, if you want a meeting that does repeat regularly, you can open up the list and pick every day, every weekday. So Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, daily, weekly, monthly, as you'd expect. Okay. And if you pick weekly, for example, what it's going to do is it'll put your meeting in for the 1st of April in this instance, but then it would do another one a week after that, another one a week after, and so on. It would put them straight into the Teams calendar. Also, at the same time, it's going to put them straight into your Outlook calendar as well. Okay. And the other good thing is that once you've done this as well, if you are inviting a channel, which I'll show you in a minute, then it's also going to plonk these meetings into all the team members who are in that channel, if that makes sense. Anyway, so all I've done so far then is click calendar. I've gone into my calendar, picked the time, and it's given me a meeting screen. We've given it a title, we've given it a start time and a finish time. And in this instance, we're saying it does not repeat. So up here then, you've got add required attendees. And it's pretty straightforward. Again, this box is just for selecting individuals to invite to the meeting. So what I'll do is just as an example then, I'll put in a surname. And it automatically looks for people who are in Teams with that surname already. So there's me. There's Keith Billington. Jane Billington as well. No relation to mine, those two, by the way. Okay, so I could just click on one of those. There you go. And that means when I click send up in the top right, when I finish setting this invite up, Keith's going to get an invite. And he'll get it on Teams, and it'll go in his Outlook calendar and in his Teams calendar as well. Okay. If I don't want Keith, I can take him out again. And that's fine. That's me inviting somebody who already has access to Teams. But you may have to invite people who don't work for the council. They might be with NHS. They might be working for the police. You can do that as well. And it doesn't matter what type of email account they've got. It can be AOL. It can be Hotmail. It can be Yahoo. I don't know what the more recent ones are. But it doesn't matter. So I've got an AOL email account set up so that I can show you how this works. So again, you just go into the add required attendees box there and start typing the email address. Now if you look right now, it's saying invite blah blah blah, but I haven't got the full email address in, so just be careful. Put .uk in. If you're happy with what you've typed and you know it's correct, click on it here and it will insert it. Okay, and that's it. And you can add as many external or internal or both individual people to invite as you need to. All right. I will talk about how external users, people who don't have direct access to Teams, log in. Basically what will happen is once you send this invite is those external users will get an email and they use that email to get into the meeting, but I'll show you that shortly. Okay. The other thing then is with this meeting is you can click optional, and that just gives you another line where you can add optional attendees, people who don't have to attend. And then a bit further down where it says add channel, this is where you can actually add a Teams channel. So what it's done there is it's listed the teams I'm in, and if I click one of them, it doesn't let me select a team, it gives me my channels within that team. So if I wanted to invite everybody who's already got access to early help and social care, that section of Teams, I click on that, and it means I don't have to give them all, insert them all up here as individuals. I could do that, but it's obviously far quicker and easier just to input this early help and social care, and that way what happens is all those people in that channel will get an invite, as I mentioned earlier. You can put a location if there is going to be a main location. There are going to be certain people within this meeting at a set place. You can do that if you want to, and if you click on that, as you can see, it brings up various different council buildings, and you can use this little box as well. The box is very handy because when you send this invite, anyone viewing the invite will see any information that is input into this box. So you can put what you want in there, obviously, and you do have a little sort of toolbar at the top, so you can highlight anything you write and go bold, italics. You can highlight it if you want to using a little pen. You get the idea. Another quite handy thing is you can click on this icon. That lets you insert a table. Same way you can in a Word document. And just clicking tab and going through will let you add more and more rows to that. Okay. If you're unsure as to what any of the icons mean, hover on them and it will tell you what each little icon means. It doesn't, the clue it gives you isn't always very good, but it tries to give you an idea. Anyway, so we've done our meeting invite there. So we've called it important meeting. We've invited this one person, so it's going to be me and this one other person. We haven't invited any optional attendees. We've put in a start time and an end time. It doesn't repeat, so it's a one-off meeting. We've invited this channel and we've put in a bit of information there. Bring cake, we've put a little table in. So all you want to do now that you've done that is click send up at the top right. Any second now. Okay, so it takes me back to my normal calendar, and you see here it puts a no entry sign on it, important meeting. That's because it needs a bit of time to think about it. It's going to insert it into the calendar, but it's also at the same time inserting it into my Outlook calendar, and it's doing the same. It's sending the invite to all the people in the channel as well. Okay, I'm going to go away from this calendar for a second, but we'll come back. So I'm going to click on Teams on the left just to show you something else. Alright, so this is the channel that I invited, and I'm currently clicked on that. So what I'll see down here is there's the meeting invite. So anyone with access to this channel will see the invite here. Okay, they're also going to see it in the calendar, and they're also going to see it in their Outlook calendar. But it's important that people know where they're going to see these invites, because you have to go into the invite in order to be able to join the meeting. Alright, so if I click on what's appeared here off the back of me sending the invite out, any second now, there you go, it gives me the full meeting details there. So that's what people with access to the channel will see. And it tells me over here in the top right, this is the person who's organised it, and these are the other people who've been invited. But it also tells you that information on this page anyway. Okay, if I wanted to, I could click join, but as the meeting's not until the 1st of April, that's not going to be of much use. Alright, so I'll close that. Alright, we'll go back into our calendar. I think it should have had enough time now. Okay, so it was the 1st of April, so we'll just skip along. 1st of April, there it is. It's not giving me a no entry sign anymore, so I have a click on that. There you go, you see exactly the same thing as you do when you enter the invite from within the channel in the Teams tab. So people can join the meeting from either of those places. Alright, and once people get used to receiving these invites and knowing where they are, it's very, very easy to join up to a meeting. Okay. Right. So, literally, if I wanted to join a meeting right now, dead simple, I'm using Teams. Okay, so it's dead simple. All I do is click join there. There you go. And it brings up a big horrible image of my face, which none of you want to sort this out. Okay, well, not too shabby. Alright then, so it gives you some icons down at the bottom, and again, if you hover over them as it's just shown you there, it will try and tell you what each one is for. Turn camera off. It's not telling me that one, but that's for blurring the background. Depends where you are. But so this one, turn camera off if you don't want people to see your big ugly mug like that there. Then you click that and they will hear you, but they won't see you. Okay, so you set these settings, and when you're happy you click join now, and that's it. So if I turn the camera back on, hello, just to show you what this one does, it blurs the background as I say. It's a bit weird. Okay, but if you've got stuff going on in the background or something you don't want people to see, then you can blur the background. It's quite handy. And this one's just for muting your mic. Okay, and then as I say, when you're ready you click join now. So if I click join now, it doesn't usually take too long. Whoa. Yep, nasty. If you waggle your mouse around on the screen, you'll bottom here, giving you the same options that we saw previously. So I can turn the camera off. It's having a think about it. It doesn't want to. Yeah, there we go. So you don't have to look at me anymore. Okay. If you want to see who else is in the meeting, you can click on this little icon, Show Participants. And over on the right it says currently in this meeting, this person. And the other people it lists are other people that have been invited, basically. Okay. But it's telling me I'm the only one currently in the meeting, so I'm still waiting for other people who would have been invited to turn up to this meeting, and they would join it in the same way that I've just done. And eventually what happens is this screen that we're looking at right now ends up with 4 panels. So even if you've got 12 people attending this meeting, it will only show 4 of them. Okay, and that's its maximum. But what it does is it listens to which one are speaking, so it always shows the last 4 people to have spoken in the meeting, just in case you wondered how that works and who it decides to show. Okay, as you can see then down at the bottom, I could turn my camera back on, but I don't want to do that to anybody. I've got my mute, so I could mute it. This one is probably the most useful one, share. This one allows me to share anything I want to on my computer. So if I'm holding this meeting and I want to show people an Excel spreadsheet I've been working on, or how to do something in Liquid Logic, or if I want to, it doesn't matter what it is. If you want to present a PowerPoint presentation, the idea is you open it first, have it open down the bottom here, and when you click on share, it knows everything you've got open, and you just choose which one it is you want to share and show to all the other people in the meeting. So that's really, really quite useful, that one. Okay, right, that's it. When you're ready, obviously, you can hang up, and that takes you out of the meeting. Okay, you've also got these 3 little dots here. If you hover on them, it says more actions. If I click on that, this is the one I wanted to show you. Okay, start recording. That's the most useful sort of option in this list here, because you can record an entire meeting. Okay, and you just literally click start recording, and it says you're recording. Let everyone know that they're being recorded. So it's just telling you, tell everybody. And if you click on privacy policy up in the top right, it will give you some information about the privacy. Okay, but you can just dismiss that to hide that message so it's not on your screen. Anything you do now from this point onwards is being recorded. Okay, and the good thing about that is that when you finish the meeting, which I'm going to do now, I'm going to hang up. Nobody turned up, so I had a meeting with myself. Okay, so I'm leaving that meeting. Okay, so here we are back in Teams. I'm on my Teams tab, and I'm on the right channel there, Early Help and Social Care. So if we scroll down a bit, so before we had a message that said there's going to be a meeting, blah, blah, blah. Okay. But if we look down now, it says important meeting started, then meeting ended after 4 minutes 52 seconds, and then it says meeting recording has stopped. It's saving the recording to Microsoft streaming service. Okay, and it does that automatically. But what it means is if someone has been doing a presentation, or it is a big long lengthy meeting, if it's something useful, that's kept. Okay, it's always accessible now, so people can go back to that recording at any time. It takes a bit of time for it to save it, but once it's saved, you can click on this meeting, and you can actually turn it into a link to send to other people, so you can send the recording of the meeting to other individuals via email and stuff like that. Okay, so it's something quite useful, that is. It's worth keeping in mind. Alright, so that's it really. I think I've covered everything I need to as far as the meetings are concerned.